Good evening and welcome to the Angry Astronaut. It has been an exercise in chaos tonight, trying to get everything taken care of, but due to the incredible efforts of my producer in Yorkshire, another space nut, things are happening. And I just want to make sure it sounds like I can be heard okay. And where's everybody checking in from?
Yes.
Hello, and
Hello.
thanks for checking in. We have over 100 people checking in. Very glad that you can hear me loud and clear. That shows that sometimes plans work out more or less. Canada, Sheffield, hello. And by the way, we have a number of guests who have joined us from Total Space. Once again, this is an exercise in chaos, mostly in my brain. Would you be so kind as to introduce yourself to the viewers, gentlemen?
Hello everyone, I'm Ryan from the Space Update. Nice to meet you all. Happy to join you, Jordan, today. Fantastic launch ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jack, and I am civilian space from Total Space. This see Rocket Lab fly.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it,
Absolutely.
gentlemen. Yeah, this is going to be an amazing event, I think. And the reason for this is not because of the size of the rocket or not because of the size of the payload or even the nature of the payload. The payload, just so you know, it's a number of satellites that are going to contribute to a constellation, a growing constellation that is going to be monitoring radio frequencies of various kinds. So in any event, that's what we're going to be looking at tonight in terms of what Rocket Lab will be delivering. Also, the nature of the orbit. It's not your traditional polar orbit, but rather a mid-range orbit that allows coverage in a different configuration, which is one of the reasons, by the way, that this launch is taking place from where it's taking place. And as I'm sure you can probably notice, we have lots and lots of people here tonight who have joined me here on the bleachers. We definitely have a lively crowd here at the moment. So in any event, guys, your feelings on this mission and on its significance to Rocket Lab.
Well, I'll start off here before chat takes the reins. This is a massive mission for Rocket Lab. It has been delayed since late December, but it's good to see a company like Rocket Lab coming from out. Even though they're a United States registered company, they're coming and back into US territory. It's amazing to see, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and like following on from Jack, nice to see Rocket Lab launch in the US, and it's all to tie in with the US missions and the Space Force missions, and maybe head towards the private companies wanted to launch their payloads. Maybe Rocket Lab could get involved with some of the more secretive missions that we see SpaceX launching, like USF 67 and stuff like that. Albeit it can't carry as much, but hopefully Rocket Lab can take a slice of those private missions, maybe CubeSats of sorts.
Yes, while we're talking about payloads, Ryan, do you know what payloads are on today's mission?
Yep.
It's satellites that are from a company that provides radio frequency monitoring. A company that monitors a wide range of frequencies, actually. To be honest, I should know the name of the company, but I do not. Bear with me just a moment, and I can, or one of you guys can look it up as well. But
I've got the press kit open for you, Jordan. It's Hawkeye 360, three satellites launching at an inclination of 14.5 degrees. So yeah, 3 little cubes that's on this one.
Very specific. Yep. Well,
when our ability to converse became a problem. Earbuds just didn't charge on the way over here, so kind of left in the environment.
Technical
that I'm in.
problems.
So, yeah, well,
That's
we're
why
gonna run
me
it.
and Ryan go old classic wild.
A lot of the stuff that I had was left behind in the United Kingdom. Now I can reduce some of the bleed over. Actually, there's actually a way for me to reduce this bleed over. Bear with me for just 1 second.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, no problem.
Asking viewers, is there anyone near Wallops who can let Jordan borrow a pair of headphones?
of me owning them, it's a question of me remembering them. That is the problem. But yeah, that's what the issue turned into. I've got earbuds. They just they didn't charge on the way over here. So
Do you not have a lunch go bag that you just pick up and go?
No, actually, I don't. I don't cover launches that frequently. It's very unusual, actually, that I cover a launch. And then many of the launches that I've covered involve equipment that are provided to me by cameramen who are local. It's very seldom, actually, almost unheard of, actually, that I cover a launch alone like this. I think this is the first time that's ever happened. That I haven't been surrounded by people who know who I am. Yeah, it's been interesting indeed.
And we've got the Rocket Dive live stream coming on in about 5 minutes or so. So maybe we could put that potentially on screen alongside everything, amongst the madness.
Yep.
But yeah, we've got Hawkeye 360, 3 satellites launching today. The Hawkeye 360 currently delivers a critical source of global knowledge based on radio frequency, as Jordan said earlier on. But an exciting launch, this one. It doesn't look like they're going to be catching the booster or anything like that today, so not too much of an exciting one, but it'll still be a fantastic launch either way.
Yeah, but the TWR of the Electron is massive. It leaps off the pad.
Yeah.
Is so small because it is so lightweight, because all of this stuff is, or the vast majority of it anyway, is carbon fiber. You have an extremely lightweight rocket in many ways. I mean, Electron is the anti-Starship in every regard. Not only, I mean, it's super small, whereas Starship is super huge. It's made out of incredibly lightweight and expensive materials versus Starship, which is made out of heavy stainless steel that is very inexpensive. So there's definitely a lot of important differences between them, and a totally different philosophy. And yet at the same time, obviously this represents a competitive environment. There is competition that's being presented here tonight, and that's a good thing. I mean, you know, and again, incredibly important, because Rocket Lab needs to demonstrate tonight that they have the capability of launching from the country that they are ostensibly based out of, where their headquarters ostensibly is. You know, that their customers can't be shipping payloads down to New Zealand all the time. They need to have and it's not just, by the way, it's not just a rocket launching facility. This isn't just a basic spaceport. There's also an integration facility and other things that Rocket Lab has exported to this country in order to make all of this possible. There is a huge investment in Rocket Lab developing a capability of launching from the United States. And, you know, until they demonstrate that they have that capability, not unlike Virgin Orbit, by the way, a couple of weeks ago, they're going to have to prove that they're capable of doing this. And this is an incredibly important launch tonight.
And this site as well, it's on their press kit, it's billed to do about 12 missions per year, so at least once per month from the Wallops facility down there. So looks like they're going to be ramping up, and including the other launch sites, they're aiming to do about 130 launch opportunities
Yeah.
every year. Whether that happens, because we obviously have all these targets, 130 launches per year, blah, blah, blah. I know SpaceX are
Yes.
breaking records left, right, and centre. Let's hope Electron can do the same.
Yeah, that also shows that the Electron launch pad requires minimum refurbishment. With the amount of launch pads Rocket Lab have, it really brings a very quick launch turnaround. So you could I believe 3 launch pads they have now. They have 2 in New Zealand, and they have, New Zealand. No, I'm getting confused with New Zealand, Australia, that side of the world.
But they've got 3 launch pads essentially.
Let's be fair to the Kiwis. Let's be fair to the Kiwis tonight. They're the ones exclusively responsible for this, and an impressive thing indeed. And think about this for a moment, guys. We have a company that has built itself into the preeminent small sat launch company on the planet. And think about that. There are many other companies, American companies, that have been trying to steal that crown away. You've got Firefly, you've got ABL, you've got Astra, all of whom have been attempting to do the same thing that Rocket Lab has been doing and have all been failing up to this point. So you have this little punchy company out of New Zealand that's been able to accomplish this, and that is very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah.
And so anybody tuning in tonight from New Zealand, you should be extremely proud of your country. No question.
Yeah, 100%.
And we're still just waiting on Rocket Lab's stream. We're waiting on them at the moment, so hopefully
Splash.
that'll come on very soon, and then we can start bringing that on screen. What we will see from your point of view, Jordan? We can see the beautiful skyline there, but what we're going to see? I think he's too busy reading the chat.
Yeah, sorry. I've got to check in on what people are saying too. I apologize. Was there a question
no
asked?
problem.
This is going to be a challenge. Yeah, I apologize, guys. I got to be paying attention to what others are doing at the same time.
No, it's no problem.
But we're just saying what we're going to see out on the coastline there. We're going to see the rocket take off. What we're going to see here.
I mean, when it's what you're seeing in front of you right now, obviously, is just the horizon. And for once, telephoto lenses, unless you have an incredibly good telephoto lens, it gains you utterly nothing here. Nothing. We are so far away from this launch pad, and Electron is so tiny that really, even with benign, believe me, I've looked through a number of things. Unless you have an insane telephoto capability, you're not looking at like I'm sure NASA Spaceflight has it. But other than that, you just don't have that at all. So instead, what you're getting tonight, if you're watching this, is a you are there kind of experience. You know, what would it look like? As you notice, as I'm sure you guys probably notice, it's getting very dark, and it's going to get darker still. We are still 43 minutes away from the opening of the launch window, and that being the case, it is going to seriously light up the horizon as Electron often does. And I've never seen a nighttime launch, so we're going to see something very cool, I think, tonight, and something that you lose a bit, in my opinion, with telephoto. Yeah, it's very spectacular up close and personal, but at the same time, you don't get to see how it utterly lights up the horizon. And I'm sorry, I lied. I have seen one night launch, a Falcon 9 launch that took place in early September, right before I left for Britain. And I saw it from a distance of 45 kilometers, and it still just lit up the sky in spite of the distance. So, yeah, I think this will be a very special thing. And honestly, I can't wait 42 minutes now to the opening of the launch window.
Yeah, and we've got $10. We just got $10 there from MSU Kiwi. Go Kiwi,
go! Yes, I think me and Ryan.
Now, what's the bleed?
Yep. Yep. We
But
we are currently experiencing some technical issues with Angry's audio that we're trying to sort. But yep, we're getting that sorted. With while we're here, let me introduce myself with Ryan. My name is Jack. We both got this is Ryan, just down your bottom corner.
Yep.
And we are hosts from Total Space. We're excited to be here tonight to watch this fantastic Rocket Lab launch.
Yeah, it's going to be a good launch, this one. Just a recap on the mission. Today's mission is the Virginia is for launch lovers. We're just having a few technical difficulties with Jordan's audio. Hopefully, we'll get that sorted soon.
Yes.
But the orbit on this one, 550 kilometers circular orbit, 3 satellites. Inclination on this launch is 40.5 degrees. And the customer for this one is Hawkeye 360. And
Yes.
as Jordan mentioned earlier on, the mission will deploy satellites for radio frequency, geospatial, and analysis provider for Hawkeye 360. The mission will be the first of 3 Electron launches for Hawkeye 360 in contract with the Sea Rocket Lab to deliver 15 satellites. So we'll see some more launches coming up in the year from Hawkeye 360. So fantastic launch, this one.
Yeah. Yeah. How long? Yep. How long is it? How long is the cable on? Yep. We're getting there with the issues. Trust us, we're getting there very slowly but surely. But like, but like all rockets in the early days. Yep. Stand on one leg. Yeah, give that a shot.
We're just going through 1 or 2 technical problems with Angry's mic. Hopefully, we'll be able to get it sorted real soon for you.
Yep. We're just working on these issues without. Just look at this fantastic horizon in front of us. That is amazing, beautiful.
I'm a bit jealous of Jordan right now.
Yes, I still haven't seen a rocket launch in person. Sad.
Yeah, but here in the UK, we'll probably see some more and everything. But hopefully, we can head up to America sometime, see some launches and everything. Everyone in the chat, what rockets have you seen launch and where? Come on,
yes,
let's hear them.
Question: does a model rocket count? What? I did launch, but only to 50 feet, so nowhere near orbit or a suborbital trajectory. So, yeah, that we'll see these coming in soon. None yet from the UK. Sad in it, but we've got Orbix, we've got Skyrora, we've got Virgin Orbit. They tried. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. It upset some people.
There was an attempt.
Yes, the rocket went the speed of light one time and 0 miles per hour another time. Yep. Matthew, the Atlas 5 and Falcon 9, that lucky. Then we've also got 5 shuttle launches from Kennedy Space Center. Were they all from 39A or were they also from 39B?
I think to see any of the shuttle launches would have been absolutely amazing for me.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll be back shortly with Jordan. He's just nipping off to resolve one or two issues with his audio and camera feed and everything. So bear with us on that. We
Don't worry, you're in safe
around
hands.
37 minutes away from launch. Fueling's complete, and we're just heading away.
Yep. Don't worry, guys, you're in safe hands with us. I hope. You can just see the sun going down in front of us. It looks absolutely perfect view. Wow. Angry's going to attack someone in the crowd again.
Yeah.
Wow. You saw an STS 93 at Cocoa Beach. Very nice. Jealous.
And we're going to throw up the Rocket Lab feed on the screen real soon for you guys, so you can see the launch live alongside.
We're going to tune into the audio channels now and listen in for the latest.
Jordan will be back very soon. Yes. Don't worry.
Yep, this is slightly different for me because I usually specialise in Starship content, but Rocket's a rocket, I suppose. And we have Rocket Lab live. I say Rocket.
But we're about 36 minutes away from launch of these Hawkeye 360 CubeSats.
Pending air delays. Pending air delays. Don't get your hopes up. Just be careful.
Wallops. We're all okay.
Well, that's good. Oh, no. Oh, that's why. I was like, we went black on our screen.
All stations LD on countdown. Proceeding with the status poll for launch sequence. Stand by for poll for current and expected status for launch. Please report green or red, tracking green or red for launch.
Yep.
Stage.
And it looks like we have one feed left, one feed back
Avionics.
From Jordan.
Avionics is green, tracking green.
GNC.
GNC is green, tracking green.
VCon.
VCon is green, tracking green.
Do they not have
T1.
seats in Scotland? I just prefer to stand. My studio is
green,
my studio is up a loft or an attic
PLS.
Space.
PLS
And
Mars CE.
Trust me, my legs get
Mars
sore.
CE is green, tracking green.
Mars Ops.
Mars Ops is green, tracking green.
MM.
We'll be back shortly.
Green, tracking green.
Just gonna.
NASA LWO.
Yes.
LWO is green, tracking green.
Producer.
Juicer.
We're trying to talk to you.
NASA PM.
Trying to talk to you guys while listening to him, while listening
NASA
to Jordan
PM is
at the
green,
same
tracking
time.
green.
So bear with us.
NASA RSO. NASA TD.
Do you want us to announce?
NASA RSO LD countdown.
Yeah, NASA
Right, okay,
RSO is red, tracking green. We will be red until the...
Yep. I've just got a little
boat exits
announcement
our
in
hazard
our
area,
ear
but
from
we
our
are expecting it
producing
to exit.
team. Sadly, this comment... Yep.
Copy, I'll call you on Sup1 shortly.
Yes.
NASA TD.
Sadly... Oh, well, he just ended it. Okay. I can't even make an announcement. Couldn't even make an announcement now. Right, okay, it's fine.
TD LD countdown.
NASA TD is green or red, tracking green.
That was just very confusing.
Copy, same reason as RSO.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'm here.
And NASA LWO, can you please provide a brief weather brief for T0?
Yep.
Copy LD. This is Will on countdown. The T-minus 30-minute weather briefing. Taking a look at those upper low winds, going to stay about where they are now.
Yeah, that was just confusing. Like, if you're shouting in the mic, I was trying to communicate. I was like,
balloons compared to the model. You can see here the latest
sorry
balloon,
about
the partial was the green, very similar to
difficulties
the
there. We're back here on Total Space exclusive, so run back through some of your questions in the chat. Let's have a look.
Exclusivity.
I live in Ireland, but a house near.
There we go. That was a mostly positive update from the Rocket Lab ICF, with most operators with green, tracking green, apart from that boat in the hazard zone. But we are tracking green.
But yeah, we're about how many minutes away from launch now? We're about just under 32 minutes from launch, so not too long for this one. We've got a good half hour to kill. But like I say, if there's any questions in the chat, fire away. Rocket Lab launches, news, anything. And we can even chat a bit of SpaceX stuff, Jack, 'cause I think there's a bit more going on with that.
Let's go! Well, have we got time to kill?
Well, I've got 30 minutes.
Yes, I believe we do. So, I may as well cover here what I haven't covered in civilian SpaceX updates in the last, 5 weeks. Shall I just do, a live civilian SpaceX updates? Listen, Jessa, can you put me full screen for 2 seconds, please? Right, okay. I believe I'm now full screen. I need a countdown, Ryan. Yes. Yeah. That's fine. Right, okay. I'll start a little live civilian SpaceX updates here. 1, 2, 3. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Civilian SpaceX Updates. On today's episode, we are going over Booster 7 and Ship 24 undergoes a wet dress rehearsal. Ship 25 is on a static fire stand, and Macy's is getting ready to fire. Let's get right to it. And this is usual where we cut. Yes, it's usually right. So, yep, that was a perfect intro. Went well.
What's going on? We saw Starship and the booster undergo a full wet dress rehearsal, which was absolutely incredible. Black and white rocket, no shiny to it.
Yep, that was a really good test, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Yep, we are proceeding well towards launch. Weather's trending in a good direction as provided by weatherman Ryan.
Yep.
Is it just me that sees a little tiny smile on the top of the nose cone? It looks like a smile. But it's actually a bird, it's a hawk.
But yeah, the launch for this one, just to recap anyone coming in, Virginia is for launch lovers.
Yes.
Launching 3 satellites for customer Hawkeye 360.
Yes.
So 3 little CubeSats on board there. Not a massive amount of payload, so you'll probably see this one launch off the pad pretty quick. This one. No boost to catch.
Yes.
So...
a little bit for the OGs. I can't believe it's not Starlink. There we go. Yep, we are trading well. All systems looking good for an on-time liftoff today of Electron. I always go into webcast mode when I'm doing this. Right. Let's just have a look at chat. Evening. I'm doing Alan. Yep, that is right. I'm just checking it. It's very weird zooming in on 2 screens.
But historic launch this one, because it's the very first launch from NASA Wallops. Because usually we see these launch from their usual facility over in New Zealand, is it?
I've confused you.
Oh, the Mahia Peninsula. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Producer.
Yes.
We'll get that right.
The little person in your ear. Yep, we are. It's a favorite black rocket is ready to launch, but it was meant to lift off in late December, but due to weather constraints and range availability, it was scrubbed till late January. How does that work? A month?
I know,
a month scrub for rain. They've just been waiting for a better weather. While we've been waiting for this, there's been quite a few launches of different providers. Been ABL, they sadly had a failure.
Yeah, launch, and I don't know, bit of
it was next to, it was in Alaska at Kodiak.
Yeah, a launch and crash and burn, basically.
Yep, it's like 100 feet away from Astra's pad. I guess Alaska and Kodiak, just the engine cut and burn state of the world.
Yeah, but with their first launch, so for it to actually do something, it might be some sort of progress for them. I haven't managed to read through the entire report, which they were brutally honest with.
Yeah, brutally honest, like very transparent.
Yeah, I haven't managed to read through that yet because I've got a lot of crazy things going on in my life right now. So yeah,
I can go. I read it if you want me to go over it.
Yeah, fire away, Jack.
The rocket lifted off successfully, went to full power at T-minus 10 seconds. The rocket, there was a fire seen in the engine bay that likely burned through some avionics and system cables, which likely caused electrical failure and all valves to close, which caused a complete shutdown of the engines on the ABL rocket.
Yeah,
and it crashed and burned.
Yeah, essentially.
those rockets don't have a flight termination system, so their flight termination system just cut the engine.
Yeah, so ABL had an issue. We've seen Skyrora, Scottish company here in the UK. They'd done a test launch in Iceland. They weren't completely successful in their first launch, albeit their rocket got off the pad. And we've seen Virgin Orbit, obviously that launch failure from Spaceport Cornwall. So there's been a bit of a trio of failures around the world
talk about
lately.
failures. Let's talk about some successes. I'm starting to feel bad about the rocket industry. Falcon Heavy. That was amazing launch. Actual UK friendly times as well.
Yeah, absolutely incredible launch, that one. I mean, awesome to see them two boosters land side by side and everything. But it's something still amazing to see, even though we see it almost day in, day out, week in, week out. They're launching that often lately, SpaceX. But those boosters are just time served now. You just know they're going to land almost every time.
Starship is getting close to launch. My estimate currently is around late March. I would say. Why have they got like temperature lights on the rocket? Why have they got like the lights that you put in something like to make stuff grow? It's like a grow light.
The sodium light or whatever they are. Yeah, your typical industrial lighting.
What is on Jack's shirt? Not a non-specific brand that I do not like to wear in live streams because it is frowned upon in the live stream industry. I should have worn my Skyrora top. Actually, I'm going to ask myself a juicer to give me a slight break here because I need a drink anyway. And I'll switch to one of my favourite tops as well.
This is water, it's not a glass of vodka, don't worry. just Jack's going to disappear for a moment.
Yep.
But we are not too far away from launch now. We are about 26 minutes away from launch, but like I said, you've got 3 CubeSats launching on Electron very, very shortly. It should be a great launch, this one. But no boosted. You're off the screen now, Jack. Don't worry. But the orbit inclination of this one, or the orbit itself, is going to be 550 kilometers in orbit, a circular orbit around Earth. That one. So now there's 3 satellites of inclination of 40.5 degrees, that one on launch and everything. But great little rocket, this one. The actual payload's Hawkeye 360 currently delivers a critical source of global knowledge-based radio frequency geospatial insights. There's going to be 15 satellites in total for Rocket Lab to launch for this customer. So this is the first 3, and we'll probably see a number of launches later in the year and potentially going into next year. For the same customer, Hawkeye 360. And this launch complex, it's Launch Complex 2 at NASA Wallops in Virginia. It's the first time they've launched from this site. They're usually over in their usual spot where they've got the 2 launch pads and everything, but they've just recent contract with NASA and everything to build their own facility at NASA Wallops, partially to expand Rocket Lab's capability under the contracts they have with NASA and other companies. And also they're probably going to most likely move into the security side of things with the Space Force, like we've seen with SpaceX and ULA do for the USF-67 missions for all those secretive satellites. With Rocket Lab moving over there, potentially, Space Force and all the security companies for all the spy satellites or whatever it may be, they can build small CubeSat versions and put them on the likes of Rocket Lab and other rockets coming up, like Firefly, ABL, maybe even we might even see some UK companies go over there at some point. Who knows? Skyrara, Orbex, obviously Virgin Orbit are already over there. UK company based in the UK, then they brought the rocket back over to the UK to launch, and then it failed. But there we go. But we're not too far away from launch at the moment. Got a view on screen of the rocket in the distance there. Rocket is fully fueled and ready to go. They're just doing the final preparations before launch. And jack up. And right on par, Jack is back.
And I am back with a fantastic new polo shirt and some juice, and also I brought a little model up from my collection for you guys. Here is Electron. This is a rocket that's going to be launching today. Boosh.
What you need is this thing, Jack.
What thing?
Neutron.
I 100% did not have a part in that.
Sure.
Yeah, we're talking about Sky Roller.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have 2 Sky Roller tops at this point. Yep.
Nice. good to know. I thought you were going somewhere with that, Jack. Are we?
Elaborate.
But any questions in the chat, feel free to fire us over a question and everything.
So, yep.
Yep, just to give a brief overview, I got 1 or 2, Alan and a few others asking the payload on that. The mission itself is Virginia for Lovers, the title of this mission. There's 3 satellites on board this on top of Electron today, just in that little bit at the top. And the customer today is Hawkeye 360. And the mission will deploy satellites for radio frequency geospatial analytics to provide a Hawkeye 360. So the overall contract for Rocket Lab on this one is around 15 satellites overall over a number of launches, but only 3 of them are being deployed today for Hawkeye 360. So plenty more launches for this customer and Rocket Lab from NASA Wallops and potentially some of the other launch sites Rocket Lab have and everything.
Someone in chat was asking about the current ETA to launch. We're currently in close to terminal count. That's 18 minutes? Yes, I was trying if it was 10 or 18.
It's around about 19,
19.
20 minutes now.
Yeah.
I know
we're getting there.
Yeah, not too far away. Fully fueled, ready to go, all frosted up.
Yeah,
and they're just I think they're just chopping up the RP1 and the locks and everything there. So
we are into topping.
Yeah, so they're just running through all the final tests and verification and everything before the launch. So we're just literally everyone's just waiting now.
I wonder if see Rocket Lab engineers, if they can go if each launch pad has battle scars, so they can say, "Oh, that marks from launch 1, that marks from launch 2."
I don't think it'd be as glorious as that.
Just paint it over.
Obviously, you got like the SpaceX, you can draw on them and stuff like that because they've got all the soot on the side and people draw on them, so you know it's that rocket. A bit like some of the boosters that launched some of the crewed missions. I don't know if people know this, but on some of the Falcon 9s, the crew have actually on the hands written their names on the side of the boosters and stuff like that, and that's still on there. They don't clean the SpaceX boosters down, but
on landing you can sometimes actually still see the markings.
Yeah, definitely. But for the launch pads, it's just soot. It's not. You won't be able to tell each launch from another on the launch pad, unfortunately.
Yeah, it would be 100% really cool. That is a big water tank, and why is it so high?
Was to get the pressure.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, water drops. Yes, gravity, but gravity.
Well
well, I did take biology, not physics, though, in school. So
the more you know.
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom.
There's no recovery.
No recovery on this booster, Alan. Unfortunately, they're most likely just going to let this one drop in the sea, recover it, and refurb it as best they can. It's not ideal, but they can still recover them, clean them down, and potentially reuse some of the engines.
No.
Wet recovery most likely.
Yeah. Or we don't know exactly with this payload. It may be that they use all the propellant to get to a specific orbit and it burns up on re-entry.
Yeah, it's quite a high orbit, this one, 550 kilometers. So most likely they will just expend the main booster and everything else. If it was a bit lower and everything, they'd probably attempt maybe a catch or something like that. But
can you check the press kit? Does this payload have a kick stage?
I'm pretty sure it does. Let me just go through. Yeah, there's a kick stage on this one. So you got the launch, second stage, and then the kick stage will take over. So you got the little bus there that will carry on deploying the satellites and everything. So you got the second stage that'll do the final push, like you see with the Starlink satellites and ULA and everyone. But then it's got the little kick stage that'll give it an extra boost to get it just right. Do the fine tuning, which SpaceX or some of the bigger companies can actually do because it's an extra thing on top, essentially. But Rocket Lab have this unique ability of having the satellite bus providing the power and everything to the satellites if they need it, or just put them in, do the fine tuning before deployment, then let them go.
Yes.
Which with SpaceX, like the transporter missions, you see.
That's true, yeah.
Although there's 50, 60 satellites on that SpaceX transporter, they're all going into more or less the same orbit, and it's not a bullseye. It's more of a rough region.
Yeah, we got you like generally there. Get there yourself.
But Rocket Lab gives you that bullseye because the first and the second stage get it somewhere near, and then that kick stage just gets it in the sweet spot.
Slightly more expensive. It's about 7 million per launch, I believe.
Yeah, in the region of that. Yeah,
and you can get space on a transporter mission for as low as 250,000, depending on weight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rocket Lab done like a ride share, like say a customer goes, "I need this payload at a specific orbit, but it's tiny." Mm-hmm. Rocket Lab will go, "Anyone will give a reduced price if you just like several payloads on one mission going to this orbit." I'm starting to have a problem here where if I grow any taller, my head is going to start banging off these rafters. Like genuinely, I will adjust my camera slightly, and you'll see it. Like It's mad.
Right, we are 12 minutes away from launch, so we're not too far away. But as we were saying with that kick stage earlier on, not only does it get it into the right orbit, if it's not deploying the satellites and everything, it can actually provide everything. So
power, communications.
So all the guys, all the scientists have to do is the science and just put it on this satellite bus, and Electron does all the work essentially, which is very unique to Rocket Lab as well. So their satellite bus will provide propulsion, power, the solar arrays, everything else. So all the scientists have got to do the experiment, put the module into their kick stage, and then off it goes. So you and me could potentially do that if we had the money, obviously. But,
what would you send? Right, I'm gonna ask us to chat as well. What would if you Rocket Lab say, "Well, we'll give you a free launch"? What would you send? I would send one of my mini Electron models on the Electron.
If I could retrieve it, maybe a bottle of whiskey or something like that, just to see what the difference would be.
Yes. Oh yeah. I've heard about that. Yeah, like I would send I don't know where that sounds bad, but I would send an Astra model so they can actually stay in orbit.
Yeah. Just to answer Alan's question, I think it was mid-air retrieval was proven in the mid-50s or something like that. So I think oh yeah, it was late 50s, Mr. Producer. Yeah, they captured buckets of film reels and from satellites and stuff like that.
Yes. Also, did you see the news that a recovered Titan booster returned to KSC?
Yeah, absolutely amazing that.
Yep, that is amazing how that survived all these years, like 50, 60 years at this point.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Wow.
But we're seeing these retrieval. Actually, we're seeing the retrieval of the big engines from the Saturn rockets and stuff like that. And there's probably tons of stuff in the space graveyard out at sea, but it's just all about retrieving it and everything. But we're about just coming up to 9 minutes away from liftoff. We'll go for launch, all fueled up and ready to go. So we're not too far away.
We're getting close.
Letting the clock tick down.
Tick, 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 tick. I've tried to adjust my height slightly. I've took off my shoes. so I don't celebrate for the launch if you bang my head off one of these rafters and get a concussion.
To establish Jack's growing a bit too tall for his setup.
Yeah, I'm growing a bit tall for my studio. It actually has seemed to help slightly. If I'm looking at his camera feed, it has actually helped.
But hopefully we'll see recovery of the booster on a future mission. Although they've tried it a few times. I think the last one they almost caught it, but they literally had to let it go because it just only snagged on, and the helicopter wasn't, or the catch wasn't 100%, so they just had to let it drop.
I wasn't happy.
No. So hopefully we'll see a launch. A launch, obviously, but a launch and a catch. Hopefully really soon on that. Then they can start properly reusing the boosters.
Yeah. They might not reuse the whole booster. It might just be like engine, like even getting the engines back or the turbo pumps.
They're looking to try and reuse most of the rocket to a certain extent.
Most of the rocket, they just get like wet, like cut off the part that's not acceptable and weld on a new part.
We could do that.
Yeah, pressure test wouldn't be happy, but well.
If SpaceX can do it, they can as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, if you can make a water tank fly, you can do it.
Exactly. But we're about coming up to 7 minutes away from launch.
It's mad how we started streaming an hour till launch and now we're getting close.
Yeah, no problem. I don't believe they're still testing the helicopter grab routine, Alan, because they've done numerous testing with it. So the pilot's very successful at like capturing it. I think the main issue was when they've done it originally before, it was just slightly off from properly 100% securing the lines. So I think there's a problem there. Is just having the confidence to try it again and all the conditions being perfect for it. But it'd be interesting to see it in this situation, in a nighttime situation, because you're essentially relying on the rocket being in a precise place and guiding the helicopter to catch it in a precise place without really knowing where it actually is. So it'd be interesting to see if they can actually do it on a night launch.
I wonder if you'd think the helicopters have some sort of radar tracking system where, like, where it goes round and round and it shows where the rocket is. Well, it shows where, like, something, a ping.
Yeah, they have LiDAR. They have LiDAR and all sorts now, and more advanced things that we've seen on New Shepard and Blue Origin test for some of the lunar missions. Which use multiple sensors to read where the ground is, where objects are, so it can, when it is actually on a lunar lander of some sort, whether it be NASA's, their own, or anything like that, it can use all the sensors to use all that. But Blue Origin have tested that and the advanced sensors and everything. So those sensors could be used eventually on Starship or something else, because that's going to be the first lunar lander, essentially.
That is true, yeah. Like proximity sensors, like landing sensors, kind of like, oh, you're here, cut off the engines here.
Yeah, and there's similar things being used on the Curiosity rover landing and the Perseverance rover landing.
Sky crane.
Yeah, as it's come in, it's had to do adjustments and everything. So we're just under 5 minutes away from launch. Not too long to go now for those Hawkeye 360 satellites that are just sitting on top of the rocket there.
I have some dedication here. I should really be studying. I have a business prelim tomorrow. I should be okay. Studying the business of launching rockets. Phrase it how you like.
It's all good research.
Yes, it is.
Just base your essay on this or whatever it is you're writing.
Coursework. Yep, we are getting close, under just over 4 minutes now, and well, also the timers aren't synced on our ends because of YouTube delay, but I'll get the best time I can here.
Yeah, we're about bang on, to be honest. We're probably about 4 minutes and 10 seconds, so we're only a couple of seconds out, don't worry.
Yeah, if we're looking on our end, Ryan, we are currently at the countdown of about 3 minutes 10 seconds.
Yeah, depending when you've refreshed your screen. Or did you know that?
Yeah, I was just looking there. Right, the words we don't want here right now is the free holds, the dreaded free word hold. That would most likely mean a huge delay for this mission for an hour or two. I would say at least, after they might need to recycle, need to check the issue. We just don't want to hear it.
Nah. They might do a slight hold just to triple check everything, the weather before launch and everything, get a full go for launch, but
hopefully no wayward boats.
No. Although it is, it's NASA Wallops, so they're used to doing all this kind of thing. It's more of Wallops is a bit more of a military base with Space Force and everything else, so there's a lot more presence around that.
Was Wallops not used to be like a lot like sounding rockets, like small rockets?
A bit of both, essentially. There's one of some, I think, I don't know if it was Wallops or one of the others. I'm getting my wires crossed with one of the other launch complexes. I was going to say shuttle, but no.
No.
That was a different one.
Does Antares lift off on Wallops? I think it does. Well, it should, but I believe that's going to complete redesign because of the ongoing conflict. That the Goma Firefly is Norfolk Grumman and Firefly working together to get Antares like a new design.
Yeah, they're doing a 2.0 version essentially.
Firefly's one of those companies like I quite respect. I really love the look of Firefly Alpha.
Yeah, very nice rocket, that one.
Yes. Right, we are that is a T-minus 1 minute. Yep. Mr. Producer, I believe the countdown for Rocket Lab is slightly different to O's on the top corner.
Anti-geysering is disabled.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, we are getting seriously close. Right, okay, watch this launch of Electron. Let's electrify. See you after.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 are pressed for flight.
High flow engine purge enabled. Deluge is active.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up.
Electrons to the pad, saving ground systems.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
And liftoff of Electron from Launch Complex 2, leaving USO for the first time and on its way to space up and over the Atlantic Ocean. All 9 Rutherford engines on Electron's first stage now propelling
you
the
see the
rocket
initial ignition of the
at more than
engines, the plume
700
core, but
kilometers
then
an
gets
hour.
sucked
We are
back down
hearing
by the
good
vacuum
calls
when the
from the
engines come
teams in
firing up,
Virginia
and then you
and
see
Rocket Lab Mission
the
Control.
wide shot,
A
and you see the
clean
two
ascent for
plumes.
Electron, now nearly
That
a
rocket
minute
really
into
off the
flight.
It almost looked like there wasn't enough suppression on that to a certain extent, but fantastic launch. Yeah, the Deluge system did get a punch, Mr. Producer. No, Mr. Stinger was it? Sorry, get it right.
Yeah, that to be fair, the rocket did leap off the pad.
Yeah,
always does.
Not much weight. Not much weight in this. I want to find the weight of these satellites. Let me just delve through the.
What are they going to do? Get a kitchen scale and just go, just like this rocket. This satellite is 240 kilograms.
Right,
whoa, that's a nice tracking shot. Wow.
But, some lovely shots from coming off from the live stream there. We're just watching along with yourselves.
Yep. Wow.
We need a long, like, telephoto lens to capture something like this in the future.
Hyper zoom. And we can see the mushroom cloud come from those engines. That's because there's less less gravity, less oxygen, less atmosphere. Sorry, up high to push the engine plume back in its normal shape, so it expands. Oh, we have main engine cut off, and stage separation, and second stage ignition. Beautiful. And we are glowing red. What would happen if you just touched that nozzle for a millisecond? Bad thing.
It'd melt your hand entirely.
Yes.
Probably.
I would like turn it into liquid. Whoa, we can see the Earth's curve. Earth is not flat. Wow.
I always loved the glow on the that second stage engine.
Yep.
So it was a slight relief to see it start up. And obviously on this one, the turbo pumps are electric motors essentially.
Yep.
And what you have to do is do the battery hot swap.
Yes, I was about to say that. That is where the batteries are depleted and they get chucked off the vehicle.
Oh,
and
I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Yep, it was that battery hot swap.
You see the little white fleck in the background of that shot there? That's the battery gone.
Yep, yeah, they just go, I guess it's shedding weight. They just, what's the point? They're just like throwing the battery off, like, nope, don't need you, bye.
With just an extra couple of grams extra. It doesn't need to carry.
I guess it means more, that couple of grams is more payload to orbit, I suppose.
Yeah, they just get rid of it.
That's the reason they get rid of fairings as well, so they're just not carrying the weight and we just perform so that second stage burn.
Yeah, I mean, on a previous launch, they got caught out when the second one dropped in and it didn't click into place right, and it just shut down the entire second stage engine. So, but luckily they've resolved that, and it seems pretty stable now.
Was it this one where it was just spinning crazy? Or was that Astra? It was like spinning when out of control spin.
That was Astra, where it
yeah,
the second stage lost where it was, and the engine just completely tilted over and sent it into a spin essentially.
Yeah,
I think it was communications loss, and it didn't know where it was, so it just decided, right, I'm going to yeet to the left, kind of thing.
Yeah, I wonder if you wouldn't want to. I guess you could have FTS in the second stage, but that would just create more parts, junk in orbit. You'd rather keep it one complete piece.
I bet most of the stuff that gets dropped off, they'll just fall back down to Earth and burn up in the atmosphere, and nothing will land on the ground. Even the booster, if the booster is high enough, it won't actually return to the ground, but the booster on Electron will make it back down and land in the sea.
Yes.
But if they expend it completely, it will, like we see with ULAs, some ULA's rockets, they launch it and it doesn't come back down, it gets burnt up in the atmosphere. And then bits do stay in orbit. That's why we get space junk and everything. You do see it come down occasionally. Some countries are more responsible than others, as you know. As they see them come down, we've seen videos online of come down. Luckily, nothing too drastic has happened so far. Some close calls in the hills and mountains and everything, but
it's not about stuff coming down. It's if it's controlled coming down. If it's uncontrolled, that's when it gets dangerous.
Definitely, but it's only going to get worse and worse as time goes by because we're getting more launches. But as long as everyone, as long as everyone plays by the rules, nothing could go wrong.
Yeah. Ryan, do you think SpaceX will make the 100 launches for the year?
Well, considering they've already done
3.
How many so far? Is it 8 or 9?
3, I think.
They've done more than 3, haven't they?
They had Starlink. Starlink. And I think it was something
USSF 67.
Was that not was that not? I'm getting confused on my dates here.
I think it was.
Was that December or January?
Tell you what, Google.
You
had 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm.
5.
Yep.
5 launches.
Don't tell me no one in chat has noticed the difference. Like, Ryan's actually got a beard now. Yeah. Yep. Yep, we're still going in this second stage burn. We're looking perfecto.
Mm. And we will see the second stage shut down because it'll coast for a little while, and then we won't see payload deployed until another good 50 minutes. But we won't be going on for that quite long. But we'll see second stage cut off. We'll see the engine burn for another good minute.
Yep.
About plus 9:14, the engine will cut off. That's 9 minutes and 14 seconds into the mission, but we're only about just over 8 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So we're just still climbing up to that 550 kilometer target orbit. So we're not too far away off from that, as you can see up on screen there.
I'm just like thinking about. It's actually quite hard to circularize an orbit without doing another burn because I'm taking my Kerbal Space Program facts here.
Mm.
You have to always like sometimes do a relight to circularize your orbit so you don't just have like you go round and just like come in the next pass.
Yeah. We've got the second stage engine just shutting down there.
Yep.
Slowly fading down, cooling straight back down because the vacuum space is very, very cold.
And the next milestone's in 50 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. So
and
not much
with
happening.
That, yep.
Yeah.
Right. I believe that'll be us for today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jack and
I'm Ryan from the Space Update. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe and watch more content right here on Total Space. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you real soon.